Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been going through a series of video presentations that I'm making for the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Web Development 1000 Web Development Technologies class. Alright, I've already gone through Murox, HTML5, and CSS3, 4th edition. Now I'm in Murox, JavaScript, and Jquery, 3rd edition. I'm in the middle of Chapter 8, and we're talking Jquery, and as you can see, as they mentioned right here, here are some of Jquery's most useful Jquery selectors. And again, probably, unless you're working with this on a daily basis, you're probably not going to memorize these. But it's important to know where to look for them. I probably have mentioned this before in other lessons, but I'm going to keep beating or banging the same drum here. And that is, if you go out to w3schools.com, and you go under their tutorials, notice they also have a Learn Jquery tutorial. It's very extensive. All right. So here's some more examples. Select all LI elements that are the first child of their parent. Well, what's an LI? It's a list item, so what's the parent? It's saying choose the first one in an unordered list or in an ordered list. All right. This says go to a table and select all of the even elements. The first element in there is element 0. So the first one will be even. The third one will be even, etc. It's kind of confusing because of the way Jquery works. Sometimes it starts numbering at 0. Sometimes, though, it starts numbering at 1. I don't know why they've done that, but they have. This says select all input elements with text as the element type. All right. So here are some of the more useful selectors, and here are some of the more useful methods that you can use to work with those selectors. All right. Notice you can add a class. So while the program's running, you can add one or more CSS classes. You can remove them. You can turn them on and off. You can hide things. You can show things. Rather than a for loop, you've got an each loop where you can iterate over things. So here are some more examples. This, as it says, gets the value of the source attribute for an image with an ID of image. This gets it. This will set it. This will set the value of the color property, and for lack of better words, it'll say take all H2 elements and make their text color blue. This says take all H2 elements that are descendants of an ID called fax and add a class to them called minus. I'm not going to run through each and every example that's in here. Some event methods. You can see right here which ones are most important. Well, they all are. But you can set it up so when you click on anything, you can have something happen. You can use mouse events, mouse enter, mouse over, mouse out for different effects. Hover effects, image rollover effects, swap effects, etc. You can do an event.prevent default. Most often this is equated with, you put this in there after somebody clicks a hyperlink, if you want to make sure they don't go anywhere until something happens, maybe a test passes or whatever. So again, more examples. The only way you become proficient in something like this is practice, practice, practice. You'll get practice in this class, I guarantee it. So here, as it says, run the method. So what this is doing right here, here we're saying what do we want to do? Well, we want to do basically a click on all anchor tags that are direct descendants of an ID named FAQS. This says make sure when you click the tag it doesn't go anywhere. All right. Other events that you should be made aware of. There are on events, and this is not an event itself. There are a bunch of on and off events. There are one events. Then you can make sure it runs only once and then it stops. There are trigger events. All right. Most of the time, rather than writing it like this, you write it like this. It saves you a few keystrokes. Either will work. You can set up event handlers. You can remove event handlers. All right. Again, you can set, attach, and remove it so it runs once and goes away. You can trigger things. Typically, when you trigger things, what you're saying is, I don't want this to happen until this, whatever this is, happens. That FAQ we've already seen. Here is going back with an image swap that we did earlier using just JavaScript. And now we're going to do it using jQuery. And a natural question then would be, fine, we already got it to work with JavaScript. Why are we doing it with jQuery? Because typically what will happen is, with the jQuery, it will result in much, much, much less code. Now, is that always the case? Of course not. It depends on what it is you're working with. All right? Okay, that's pretty much it for this chapter. So this, I guess, is a very short second part to this. When I come back, we'll start talking about how you can and do actually use jQuery. And this is how to use effects and animations. All right. I did want to mention also that'll be the last one that I'll do today. Tomorrow, I at least hope to finish this up and go over chapters 10, 11, and 12, which will end the jQuery section. When I get to chapter 10, then, take a second for this to open. So chapter 10 will be on how to work with forms and data validation. And you can write jQuery to help you validate forms. There are also jQuery form validation plugins. We'll look a little bit at each of them. Then we'll go into chapter 11, once I can get that to come up, which is on how to use jQuery plugins and widgets. I've already shown you a little bit of a prelude to that. And we'll end up with how to use AJAX, which is an acronym that stands for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML, JSON, which is JavaScript object notation, and a little bit on Flickr. But for now, I'm finishing up so we can go into chapter 9, how to use effects and animations. Be back shortly.